Hello and welcome to the walking talking topic on quadratics, question number 2 with me, Mr. Barton. Right, factorise the following expressions. So again, I'm going to use my technique from question 1 and I'm going to assume it's a single bracket first. So is there anything I can take out that's common to 12x squared plus 18xy? Let's sort my numbers out first. What's the biggest factor of 12 and 18? Well, I reckon that's a 6. What about my letters? I've got an x squared and I've got an xy. Well, I can take a factor of x out of that. And then just see what I've got left over. 6x times by something has got to give me 12x squared. Well, I'm going to need a 2 in there to get me 12. And then an x times an x is going to give me my x squared. And then I'm going to need a positive because I've got a positive there. 6 times by something has got to give me 18, so that's got to be a 3. I've already got my x, so I'm going to need a y in there. And the beauty of these is you can just multiply them out and check. 6x times 2x, 6x squared. 6x times 3y, 18xy. So you know you've got it right. Next one, x squared minus 100. Again, I'll just write that out just in case you can't see it. Can I take a common factor out of both of those? Is there anything common to x and x squared and 100? No, there isn't. So that tells me it's probably going to be a double bracket job. And I've just got to be good enough to spot that this is one of those difference of two squareds. You can write it out like this if you prefer. X squared plus no x is minus 100. That's quite a nice technique that some people use. But I'm going to end up with an x and an x. I'm going to end up with a plus and a minus because I've got a negative 100. And it's going to be my plus 10 and minus 10. And again, it's up to you how you think of that. If you think of it as two numbers that have got to multiply together to make minus 100 and add together to make 0. 10 and minus 10, that works. Or if you just spot that when it looks like that, it's difference of two squared, so you need the square root of that at the front, that's your x, and the square root of that at the end, and a plus and minus. It's up to you. Okay, and then we get this one. Factorise x squared minus 5x minus 14, and then hence solve the equation. So we'll do what we did on question 1. We need two numbers that when you multiply them together, you get this number here, which in this case is minus 14. And those same two numbers, when you add them together, we get the number of x's, which in this case is minus 5. So, can we think what they are? And this only works when you've got a single number of x's. X squared, sorry. So we've got x and x. Right, so is it going to be a 7 and a 2 job again to give minus 14? I think so. And I think one's got to be negative and one's got to be positive. So we might as well get that in there now. And when you add them up, you've got to get minus 5. Well, that tells me the negative's got to be bigger than the positive, I think. And I think it's going to be minus 7 and 2. Minus 7 times 2, minus 14, minus 7 add 2, minus 5. There we go. Perfect. And then all we've got to do now is solve the equation. So we need, we've got a bracket times another bracket equals 0. So either this bracket equals 0 or this bracket equals 0. And what value of x makes x minus 7 equals 0? Well, that's going to give me x equals 7. And what value of x makes that bracket equals 0? Well, I think that's going to give me x equals minus 2. So there is a classic factorise and solve combination.